Does the combat lock actually stop anything? The combat lock has been a huge point of contention, and contrary to popular belief and what this person says, it's not because it's going to stop us cheesing. We're actually not worried about that because we can still do it anyway. One of the prominent strats for Iron Horse Raid when fighting Williams is to do basically what I'm just replicating here in the range. It requires FI, Overcharge, and maybe like 2 other buffs. I don't exactly have the exact build to do it, but it does allow them to one-shot Williams, and they're not using any form of hot swapping. It is just stack with Busy Bee, Overcharge, get full armor, and then shoot Williams in the head, and you will one-shot him. This is just purely to demonstrate that the issue isn't the ability to hot swap or change gear mid-combat. It is quite simply the issue is Busy Little Bee, which apparently they don't actually know how to fix. Now, Busy Little Bee and hot swapping has been causing a lot of issues, and it's not just for the devs. It's one of those things of where the speedrunners will use it because it is that damn powerful, but at the same time, they don't like using it because it trivializes what it is they're actually trying to do. See, part of the fun of speedrunning is being able to find all these weird and wacky strats that allow you to get through certain missions or raids, incursion, etc., with the fastest time possible. Part of the fun of doing this is the struggle, the strat building, the theory crafting, the understanding of the mechanics, finding ways around it or finding ways to bully your way through. Busy Little Bee as well as negotiators cause huge problems here because they're basically able to just brute force their way through with these strats, which is not something that they like actually doing. This is one of the reasons why the incursion was kind of met with mixed emotions. You see, the issue wasn't the fact that negotiators didn't work, it was just the fact that they just turned negotiators off in the incursion rather than actually fix negotiators. If they had just fixed negotiators, it wouldn't have been a problem. It's the same with Busy Little Bee. Rather than fix Busy Little Bee, they're just going to turn mechanics off. This is not actually fixing the issue because as it stands right now, we're still able to get some ridiculous damage numbers. I don't even have an optimal set to show this, and as you're about to see, I still hit a very, very stupid number. This also actually requires a minimal setup before people say this isn't practical out in the open world or in missions. It really is, and I'll go over the setup in a minute. But all you really need to just pay attention to is just the simple fact that just with an unoptimized setup, I'm hitting a pretty high number. This is a grand total of 237,876,624. We've done this with 4 players worth of buffs in the range using attack 50, and we were able to hit 1 billion damage. Now all this quite simply is I stack up with Busy Little Bee, I then proc 1 shot with White Death, 1 to ensure that I have over the ongoing directive buff as well as the highest stack possible with Headhunter, and during this time the player with FI overcharges, throws a sledgehammer grenade and procs opportunistic on target, while the other player who's running ongoing directive just sits in cover and provides overwatch. That was quite simply it. What I'm using here is your standard Regulus Headhunter build. If we were then to use something like, I don't know, Hot Shot, we can get another 100 mil. Easy. If we then just add in the fact that we're missing like 5 players worth of buffs, perhaps Demolitionist, we had Survivalist on the go, I don't know, maybe someone running Firewall, and being inside their shield range, you can get some absolutely bizarre level of numbers. To a point of where, even in the raid, they one-shot Williams with White Death. They don't do anything fancy, they don't hot swap, they just stack with Busy Little Bee and then shoot Williams in the head with White Death. And the other players will provide FI, Overwatch. I don't think Ongoing Directive is one of them. Perhaps True Patriot, I think potentially is one of them. But the end result is Williams dies in 1 hit in the Iron Horse raid. So it is perfectly doable out and about. Admittedly, yes, it does require an organised team and a team that know what they're doing. However, I'm showing this to prove the point of removing the ability to hot swap mid-mission doesn't solve a thing. The issue at hand, and will always be the issue at hand until it is fixed, changed, altered, even deleted from the game, is Busy Little Bee. That is the issue. It's not our ability to swap from Busy Little Bee to Regulus and then have Busy Little Bee's buff apply to Regulus or anything else. It is Busy Little Bee in its entirety. It is essentially just too damn powerful. Now, I say this simply just because, from what the information we have from Project Resolve's patch notes, the M700 at the top end is going to do 12% more. 12%. Now, that might not sound like a lot. However, it takes us from 237 million to 266 million. Again, I'm not using the full range of buffs that are available in the game, and I also don't have the optimal setup. What I'm telling you here is we're going to be able to go from one-shotting Williams to one-shotting literally everything else in the game. Effectively, the buffs plus the ability to not hot swap anymore in missions, the combat lock, it doesn't solve anything. We're still going to be able to do it. We're still going to be able to one-shot or cheese our way through the game, because that is just how powerful certain items are in the game. And this is something that I need a lot of you to understand, as well as the devs, if they ever watch this, to understand. Throughout the demonstration that I just did, there has been zero hot swapping. We did not change a single item in combat. We acted as though the combat lock was in effect. And again, as I said, this potentially isn't the most optimal setup for it. So why, pray tell, are the speedrunning community so vocal and upset about the combat lock? Well, it's actually for you guys, for the casuals. All of us, really. Doing a legendary mission, how many times have people run out of ammo if you're not doing the skill build cheese? How many times have people run out of ammo? How many times, when you run out of ammo, do you go, okay, I'll just swap off my AR to an SMG by going through your inventory? Can't do that anymore. If you've just downloaded the game and you're playing through the story and you've just killed something, you're still in combat, but you have a quick cheeky peek, it's a looter shooter after all, we're all goblins at heart, you have a quick cheeky peek at the item that's just dropped in front of you. It's a really good item that's really going to benefit you right now. Can't put it on, combat lock. There are varying areas throughout the game where enemies just get stuck indoors, don't want to come out. One of the things we like to do is quickly hot swap to like an oxidizer build and just spam the door with Oxy so that we can kill them and move on. Can't do that anymore, combat lock. In short, what I'm telling you is the combat lock wouldn't be a problem if 1, the game actually bloody worked as intended, 2, if it was implemented like, I don't know, latest a year after release. Doing it now and basically bullying out all of the mechanics that we have grown to learn, love, and use, utilize, abuse, how you want to look at it, that are in the game right now, and then just removing them is a very, very poor way to go. Like, very poor. There's no excuse for it. It's not think of the children, think of the new players, adds complexity to mechanics. Good. Adding complexity to the mechanics is what we actually want. It makes us think. It makes us diverse in our approach to things. By you removing combat lock, everyone's just going to run Striker's Scorpio, because that's going to be the quickest, easiest, and efficient way to cheese their way through the game without changing anything. You've killed diversity. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.